Welcome. This is Crimey Queen. If you are joining us for the first time, this is the channel where we get excited about love. This is where we ignite that which dwells from within us, that which comes alive, makes us smile. Hence we say, the crimson light is light. Okay, so I'm talking about number nine. Of course, there's so much about number nine. Nine, of course, is newness. Re, um, I say rebirth. Yes, of course, rebirth as well. Um, yeah, the word birth, I think, is three, and of course, rebirth would be 12, so that would still be free. Of course, when we are born, we are free to do as we please, hence the free vibration. And just to ensure that I am saying the correct thing here, let me double check on the word birth or rebirth. But this is not the main essence of what I'm wanting to say here. But let's just rebirth, BIRTH 82992. Okay, so that's 10, 20, 30. Okay, I have a splendid memory. Okay, and this is 14 and not, okay, so this is 5 and 9. 5 plus 9 is 14, that is 5. So 5 and 3 is 8. So just as well as I checked, so rebirth is actually 8. Now I love this. Although we are working with the number 9, I'll just quickly go through this talking about rebirth. If rebirth is number 8, this is where I often talk about where we are going heaven and earth. This is headquarters zone. It's as if you have done your three dimension and you're going for your fifth dimension. Of course, we often speak of the fourth dimension. I believe the fourth dimension is really, it encapsulates, excuse me, it encapsulates the essence of what perhaps Christ would often ask of someone. Do you believe? Do you have faith? Do you trust? That kind of element. That it's like that bridge. It's like a bridge to take you onto that fifth dimension. Hence, this is where we take everything into consideration, which also represents a 9 in itself too, but it also is 10. So 10, here we are looking at your north, south, east, and west, but it's also 4. So basically, here is a representation of 4. It's a representation of 1, and it's a representation of the number 9 because it comes under the R, which is a representation or which has the value of 9, like here. Okay, so um, back to the number 8 here. So we see, for instance, 8 is rebirth. It's that completion. It's like you have been, you have done something and you have gone through it, through the motion. You you have gone through this part here, your 1 to 4. You have gone through your Fox Street or Fox City, like I like to put it, because it kind of sounds like nowadays we could call London the Fox City. You could go out almost any hour in certain places, and of course you would see a fox. So 7 here, the Gypsy Journey here, and we have the 8 for headquarters zone. So this here we have the 3 8s here, which would be 24. 2 plus 4 is 6, which we have here. This is how we have this um, common denominators for each column here. Okay, so this 6 here, of course, is showing the hair. This is where you say, oh, I see. Literally, we are looking at the word sacrifice, and let's not overlook the language or the message that it brings. So we can literally say, ah, this is where we get our aha moments. We go because we have gone through the cycle. The cycle, we have eaten of the apple. We have tasted the texture. We know whether it is sweet or it is sour right here. We know what reactions it has on our system, our biological system. We know whether it has made us feel good or not. And so we go through this journey, we go through the test, and we are able to say, I see. Now, depending on your conclusion, you could just see it as an ICE, as an ice cold experience. But however, you would have a conclusion, and your conclusion would be what you birth right here with number 9. Because you'd have to come to some conclusion, because our world of polarities, that's how it is. We are always turning cycles of conclusions. Did it taste good? One conclusion. Is the apple crispy? Another conclusion. Is it red or green? Another conclusion. Was it palatable? Another conclusion. We are forever birthing, and that is the spirit of what Eve had, that continues to give us the opportunity to take us to this dimension in the middle, where we can always have that opportunity to make judgments. Are we going left or are we going right? Because there we are in a position where we can see, taste, smell, where we can make decisions, sound decisions, where we can also be illuminated. And it's perhaps no wonder we have our nose bridge. This is the bridge. It's like here we could see the bridge is taking us to our third eye being open, illuminated right here. This is everything else. There's the mouth, of course, in the middle, but the mouth, but there's a point. We could say something's pointing us to that direction. Yes. So let's just conclude. In fact, not just conclude. I want to talk about the hands. I'm now very engaged with hands. So I have been observing how women in particular are so engaged with painting their fingernails. So I was looking at the word finger and nails. So here I was saying I on my on 4 of these mini series of hands and nails. Sorry, hands number 9 and 5, meaning hand to mouth. I think I will call it hand to mouth. Okay, and I'm thinking, and I was saying, for instance, oh, really, it's not just about 5 hair and 9 hair. Of course, as I have covered, we have the 9, the hand is it constitute number 5 itself. So this is where Emmett Fox says, or we're talking about the theory of relativity. Everything's relational. So there is a 5 that can connect to the mouth as well. It's like they have to have that same frequency so they can understand. We can have an understanding. We can have a connection. We can have that vibration, we can ignite that vibration. So the finger, for instance, is 5, the mouth is 5. So finger and mouth becomes 5. Finger and mouth, if we add them together, would be 10. Okay, so but we have the hand, we have 5 fingers, and it's also there's an emphasis. I was going to say there is an emphasis of 5 because we have 5 fingers on each hand. But the word hand, which has the numerical value of 9, constitute the 5 fingers. But then when we go a little bit closer, we see the nail. Each nail, Nail, equals 9. So we can see how everything here, we are talking about the hand, and then there's the finger, 9 and 5. And then we also have 9, the nail, and 5 here. Now, isn't that delicious? Now, you may be wondering, what are we doing with this information? But it's recognizing who we are through the numbers, recognizing what we do, why we do what we do, the relationship that we have when we are activating something, when we are doing something. I'm going to call on Spirit to help me explain this a little bit better. Like in having the revelation and having water and having elation, to be able to capture the essence of how we can use or connect with ourselves. Because, for instance, some people don't really want to use their fingers. Of course, here we have become so accustomed to using utensils where there is no direct connection. It would be interesting to see if that the word spoon or fork or knife, how it connects with hands on a numerical value, which I'm going to explore. But of course, we can see how from the womb, in our mother's womb, we have that connection, the 9 and 5, and hence we say the power in the words or the understanding of the words when it is said, and God created the heavens by the hands of his, by the fingers of his hands. There was something to that effect, with his fingers and with his hands. So we see that. And then with the word sacrifice, of course, there it does not say about the fingers or the hands, but it uses the nails. Now, in nail, which is number 9, for the word sacrifice, which we have seen it, it does come to number 10, but we have also done the numerical value and the formation to see it as 9, because this is where Christ was birthing into a new dimension. We could call it a rebirth as well. There was a rebirth, if you like, of that newness. So if this became 46, of course, and we said rebirth, I think rebirth is 8, of course, there we see that after going through this motion here, we become aware of a deeper understanding and meaning of how to remain in this position and operate from that position as well. Okay. Now, there was another thing that I felt was very important to point out with the nails, of course, with Christ. Of course, there was the emphasis of nails, nail to the hand. So, of course, nail is directly on the hand, which is 9, the word nail, nail. I'm just thinking if there is another, okay, it's the spelled the same, if there is another nail, okay? So 5, 1, 9, 3. So this is 12, 13, and 5 is 18. 1 plus 8 is 9, equals 9. Okay, so just so you could see this. All right. So 9, of course, and I am now seeing a significance or a deeper meaning or essence for us to readdress the sacrifice of how we can capture the essence of sacrifice in our lives, how we can have that delayed gratification to understanding, okay, whether it's changing our diet, whether it's changing our speech, whether it's changing how it amazes me. I'm going back to nails that we would pay attention. This is the nail is like it constitute the whole because the number nine encapsulate the whole. In fact, I think the word whole is either six or nine. Let's just see. WHOLE. This is 53685. Oh, pen, please write. Okay, so this is 8 and 8, 16. This and 6. I'm counting like this. And 6, this would be 22, and 5 would be 27. 27. So 2 plus 7 is 9. I have a good memory. Okay, so whole is 9. And so we see that when we are dealing with the beginning, it's like a cell. It's like the sperm cell has everything in it to become who we are, whatever it is that we um, all our senses or everything is in there. So that's the whole. So number nine constitute the whole. So in itself, number nine is everything. But it's just a demarcation of that beginning. Beginning, of course, there would be nothing without beginning. If there wasn't beginning, there couldn't be a middle or an end. So in the beginning, for instance, would have to have the end, which in end, let's see, or end without, of course, we have beginning. There's not a D, but of course, we can see how um, the word or the sound also encapsulates the sound of beginning encapsulates end as well. All right. So basically, I'd just like to, particularly for female, we are paying attention to our fingernails, the finger which is 5 and the nail which is 9, which encapsulates, embodies the whole. So when we are doing something to cherish the power of that which we are doing with our hands, it is saying that it has that pureness to create, to do, to become. It has in it. And it's no wonder it is said that all our senses or our muscle or veins um, or nerve endings, to be more precise, at our fingertips. So basically, I would like us to just pay attention to why we do what we do and how we can become more conscious to um, applying the love factor because the word love also equals 9. I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you have found this fun. If you have enjoyed this, click the like button and share because this is how we do it. We share to actualizing self-full love. Stay blessed, stay bright, be a field because we are planting new seeds and spill over with love. Namaste. Thank you for watching.